Hi again everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So normally the aftermarket session is not one that garners much attention, except usually when there is an outside of trading hours results release. However, for a couple of pot stocks in the form of Tilray ticker symbol TLRY and Canadian-based Sundial Growers ticker symbol SNDL, both stocks jumped in the final hour of the regular session by over 20% to post impressive gains for the day and followed this up in the aftermarket. Tilray closed $1.25 higher in the regular session, then added a further $1.24 in the aftermarket to finish that whole trading day at $8.21 per share, or a total of 43% higher on the day. Sundial Growers closed the regular session at 75 cents, a 14-cent gain on the day, or 23%. This was then followed by a further 12-cent gain in the aftermarket, taking the stock to 87 cents per share, or up about 45% on the day. So this astronomical jump was a reversal in fortunes for the two companies that have strong interest in the budding marijuana industry. Both stocks have seen strong declines in share value over the past 12 months as investors have fled from riskier plays in the increasingly weak economic setting we have found ourselves in. Tilray has fallen the hardest of the two, dropping a whopping 70% in the past 12 months, where Sundial Growers has still had a heavy fall of almost 40% over the past year. So what has sparked this sharp reversal for these companies? Well, it is rumblings around the holy grail for the industry. Basically, pot stocks jumped in the late afternoon trade on the news the US House of Representatives is preparing to vote on federal legalization of marijuana. The House is considering the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act, or the MORE Act for short, a bill sponsored by House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerrold Nadler, and this is set to take place possibly next week, according to a source known as Marijuana Moment. I will link that in the description. Other sources have suggested that the vote will take place later this month or in early April. Either way, it's coming soon. The Act in its current form will basically delist marijuana as a controlled substance at a federal level and allow for the expungement of previous convictions for minor possessions and use charges, which will have a far-reaching social effect for employment and migration opportunities. A cornerstone part of the Act would be to institute a 5% tax on cannabis products to help fund criminal and social reform projects at community levels. Now, I'm not from America and will not claim to be an expert on such matters, but I believe in terms of the legality of marijuana at the moment, there's a lot of conflicting overlap between state and federal governments. My understanding around the passing of this act is that it will still give states the power to decide whether the substance is considered illegal or not, but it will clear it at a federal level, thus eradicating some of the confusion around this matter. Novice legal interpretations aside, this would allow for a potential much greater opening up of the US marijuana economy. The US is where the greatest potential for cannabis products lay. Once legal red tape is removed, the Act will allow for a smoother administration and treatment of the cannabis industry, where they do have some legal status at a state level, and will potentially act as a light of encouragement for other states to decriminalise cannabis and allow the sale of cannabis products. Meaning companies such as Tilray and Sundial Growers, who are already quite established in the space, will have runway to start expanding into some of the areas they had been earmarked for showing great potential for in the past. It will also be a boom for a lot of the smaller marijuana companies locally and around the world, as they will now have a large addressable market. So if the Act is passed, it is a big hurdle for the industry. That is not to say it is going to materially change the industry overnight, as there are still many hurdles faced at a state level. I'm quite interested in this, as I have been personally involved in a number of local pot stocks here in Australia, including Can Group, Althea and MGC Pharmaceuticals, and such an act will have reverberations on some of these stocks. I've looked into Tilray a few times before, and I quite like the diverse approach to their business that they are establishing. Given how low the stock price is historically, I might watch and finally take the plunge on the stock if I see it as a good buying opportunity, but I will definitely be watching this space. Not that I'm giving investing advice here. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the MORE Act? Will it be enacted? And do you think it will have a meaningful impact on the likes of Tilray, Sundial, or our other marijuana stocks? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you have a stock you'd like me to take a look at, drop a ticker symbol in the comments and I will see what I can do. Till next time, everyone, may the markets trade in your favour. Cheers.